Welcome to the Specter DIY workshop. We are Darko and myself. So we are from Hodling SA, a Swiss company. We are not really affiliated with Specter DIY, but it's an open source project. So we really love this hardware wallet. We will try to communicate on the why we love it so much, and hopefully you will also. So Hodling is a Swiss company, as I said. It's just the two of us. And we provide services in Bitcoin self-custody education. So education on how to build your own infrastructure for self-custody. Mainly concentrating on the multi-signature wallets. We also have a network of trusted cosigners that we train to participate in customers' wallets. So those are mainly lawyers, notaries, and financial intermediaries who can participate at different level to customers' workshops. And yeah, what we do is mainly workshops, education on Bitcoin fundamental and on self-custody. So Specter DIY is an open source project. So on the top left, you have the GitHub link you can already open. So the goal of the project was to allow people to use off-the-shelf hardware that you can buy without doxing yourself as being buying a specialized device for a Bitcoin wallet. So you can get those cards, those boards. It's a ST microelectronic development board. So they sell it to developers who wants to try stuff with the chip that they manufacture. And this board has a big touch screen, like iPhone 5 size. It has some pins compatible with Arduino, and you can obviously reprogram it. So the GitHub page shows several links here in the documentation. So you have the shopping list, you have the assembly manual, how to assemble the parts, because you will see you can have just the main board, but you can have a more complex setup with a smart card reader. Oops. Then you have the manual how to build the software, and if you don't want to build but just to flash the firmware, you have the quick start page. You also have files for 3D printing cases for the Specter DIY. You have different designs, all open source. You can download them and print your own case. The wallet is compatible with mainnet, testnet, regtest, and signet, also with Liquid, but nobody cares. And here today we have those nicely built Specter DIY with a case and a QR code scanner. It's not a camera, it's really a QR code scanner that output in text over COM port internally to the board. So the attack surface is much smaller. And those cases were assembled by Bitcoin Store, so bitcoinstore.org. He sells them like these already pre-mounted in different configurations, without QR code scanner, pre-flashed for like total noobs or for you to flash. So those he's selling them at 130 CHF, and just the board like this is about 70 CHF if you want just to buy the board. So here on the right you see the back of the main board. So you see it has pins that are Arduino compatible, so you can mount your own stuff. QR code reader is one example, but for example you can also connect a battery or whatever you want. Here we have a board that connects a smart card reader so that you can store your keys on a smart card more securely. Okay, so
can you give me one device? I want to show them.
yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe also this one. So what do we usually use a hardware wallet or a wallet for? So you generate the keys, and you hope to generate them with like good randomness, good source of entropy, so that the key is securely generated and of good entropy quality. Then you need to somehow export and backup your private keys. You need to handle access to the backups. Time to time, you need to sign transactions with the hardware wallet. And also very important, you have to protect access and unauthorized access to the private keys, meaning both the backup and the key which is sitting in the wallet itself. There are different hardware wallets with different trade-offs. There is no like best hardware wallet or like, let's say, perfect hardware wallet. They all have some trade-offs. And we believe that the trade-offs of Specter DIY are really the best ones. So here I put some of the main trade-offs. It's not all, but it's kind of the main ones. And I put lines, but they are also interdependent between them. So just very quickly, you have hot wallets and cold wallets, and it's slightly more nuanced. It's like a spectrum. So I put a warm wallet in the middle. It exists also. So basically, hot wallets are easier to use, more faster to use, because they are usually connected to the internet. They know exactly the state of the blockchain. They know how many coins you have on your wallet, etc., etc. The cold wallets, they are usually air-gapped, disconnected from the internet, or if not air-gapped, they have a very limited interface to exchange with the online device. And they are only used for generating the keys and signing. They are stateless. They don't have any information about the blockchain. So next to them, you have to use an interface for the wallet that has access to the chain information. Then the next trade-off is, should you use for your wallet a general purpose device or a specialized device? So general purpose, it's devices that can run any kind of software like your computer or phone. Those are usually quite bad to keep secrets because you can easily install other software on them that can compromise security. So specialized devices are always better in terms of security. Some of these specialized devices are to be considered as signing-only device. They don't have a really, really good way of storing keys inside. So if you get physical access to the hardware, you can easily extract the keys. And some of the hardware wallets use so-called secure element chips. They are physically meant to prevent key extraction. So they store better and protect better from physical access. And this comes also with some additional trade-offs, the secure element part. For now, unfortunately, most, if not all, probably all secure elements are like highly proprietary. So in order to use one, you have as a manufacturer to sign NDA, non-disclosure agreements, and those prohibit you from building open source software and sharing that open source software. So unfortunately, you have to choose for now not to use secure element at all, or use it in a very limited way, only to store keys and not to sign or not to do anything. Or you use a secure element, but you make the choice to have a kind of black box that you don't know what kind of software is inside. And unfortunately, that's the most critical part of the software. The one that generates the key, the one that signs, and does all the critical operations. And the last trade-off that I wanted to mention is about how and whose responsibility is to verify stuff. So with the fully verifiable free software firmware, it's for now the burden is on the user to verify stuff. So probably you know, for example, with Trezor or these kind of signing devices that are fully open source, that's cool, that's nice. You can verify all the code, all parts, but it's user's responsibility to verify the signature and the hash of the firmware before flashing into the device. Otherwise, you may be tricked into flashing a compromised software firmware that will compromise your security and steal your coins. On the other hand, the proprietary chips, the secure element chips, they allow some kind of end-to-end verification between the hardware's firmware, the software wallet running on the computer, and potentially even an HSM from the hardware manufacturer. So they really have the ability to check from the device that it's upgrading with a legit firmware signed by the manufacturer, and prevent you from flashing, from upgrading with some compromised software. So those are the main trade-offs that we find in different hardware wallets. And we will see how they are applicable to Specter DIY. So here I put just some examples of different hardware wallets. On the top you have some DIY wallets, so I have also some wallets here. On the top you have DIY wallets, so just very quickly, it's Crooks, Seed Signer, and Specter DIY. Personally, our preferred is definitely Specter DIY. And on the bottom you have a few commercially available ones. The slides are all, I didn't add the Jade. And yeah, we don't put like all the hardware wallets that exist. Obviously, there are many more, but we try to concentrate on those that supports Bitcoin multisig in a good way. So the list is more limited. So what is important also to mention about the hardware wallets is that as software wallets, they also are interoperable with the Bitcoin improvement proposals listed here, the BEEPs 32, 44, 39. So those are the main, but there is a long list of BEEPs, and all these wallets are interoperable, at least on those, and on most of the BEEPs they use. So sometimes when you use like the latest features, they may be not fully interoperable between all the different hardware wallets, but the main features are. And probably the most important thing to tell about hardware wallets is that they have a screen, buttons, and they are meant to verify everything on the hardware wallet screen and not trust your computer. Your computer or phone may have a virus and may show that you are sending 10% of your sats to someone. In fact, the transaction that the computer crafted sends all of your sats to a hacker. So this is something that you will see on the wallet, and you will not sign on the hardware wallet, and you will not sign the transaction because it's different from what you've seen on your computer screen. But this is why it's really important to not to just click, YOLO sign, but to actually read what your hardware wallet is showing. And with multi-signature wallets, it's even more tricky because you have the cosigners. So you need to check that you're signing within the correct wallet with the correct cosigners. We'll see a bit in an example. So as I told, the hardware wallets, they're stateless. They don't have access to the blockchain. They don't know anything about your coins. your UTXOs. So you have to use a wallet interface. So usually for like simple setup, we would use Sparrow or Electrum. Those are like, Electrum is an OG wallet that also supports well Bitcoin multisig. But today we showed those two interfaces that are Liana and MyCitadel, that are the two wallets that supports all the nice new miniscript features. So today we will be demonstrating with Liana. So about backups, just a few words. So you're probably used to this. When you create a wallet, it generates the private key and exports this in the form of seed, 12 or up to 24 words that you need to back up. So the most basic rule for backups is 3-2-1, 3 copies on 2 media, one of which should be off-site. Off-site meaning more than 80 kilometers. This is helping to prevent all kinds of natural disasters like earthquake, whatever, even like up to a nuclear disaster. Usually the exclusion zone is limited to 80 kilometers or something like that. So for most natural disasters, it's fine if you have a key at least 80 kilometers away. Then you can also have them more far in different jurisdictions. These also have some advantages. And about the mediums, definitely no cloud, no photos, no files on a computer. Go like full analog. Do paper and metal. So those are the medium that we recommend, paper and metal. So here you have a paper form, I believe a paper from Ledger. You also have like papers that have the 12 words to write, but also a QR code to draw manually. And this QR code helps to import the seed faster. So you don't need to retype, you just scan it with the QR code scanner, for example, of the Specter DIY. Some other wallets like Jade also support this kind of backup. So this is much faster to restore. So here on the slide, we have on the left upper corner, we have a metal version of this QR code that you punch with a special tool. And it's really time consuming, but it's also very resistant to time. And yeah, easier to import into the wallet because you simply scan it. On the right top, it's a more dense version where basically you just mark the beats of each word, so it's more compact. On the bottom left, you have a metal plate where a person engraved, and this metal plate, it's a photo from Jameson Lopp website where he tests all the different backup solutions, and you can see how they pass the test of like time, corrosion, acid, pressure, fire. So he tortured them really and see what survives. I really recommend his blog because you will see that many backup solutions don't survive many of these tests. So choose backup wisely. Something I also want to mention is that when you have a backup like this, it's also risky because whoever finds your backup have access to your coins, to your sats. So there are several ways to de-risk the backup. One of the way is to have a BIP39 passphrase, the wrongly called 25th word, wrongly because it's not a word, it may be a phrase. This is why it's called passphrase. Another way to de-risk is multi-signature wallet, including like simple traditional multisig or miniscript-based multisig. And today we will show a demo with miniscript-based multisig. So.
Yes, I can start.
And tamper evident bags for your backups. So when you wrote the seed, you can put it in an envelope, close it, and seal a tamper evident bag so that you can have evidence of tampering or evidence of the fact that no one accessed your backup. And we will explain now how these may be useful. Okay? Because obviously it doesn't help to prevent access to the backup, but it helps you to notice that someone had access. And we will explain how it's useful.
So you recommend the steel plate? You think that's the most resistant and the best form of backup of the words?
Yes. So first of all, we recommend the 3-2-1, so 2 medium. So you have to, even if you do metal, please do another one. It's always good to have, even if it stand the test nicely with LOP, you never know. So it doesn't cost too much to have additionally paper. From the metal backup, the one on the left bottom is Crypto Edge, and this one is really solid. We like what they do. But there are a few other versions that are good.
Can I just ask, with regards to the QR code, if you're using, for example, Ledger or Trezor or whatever, do all wallets have a QR version?
No.
No. So if you do have some coins on
Can you see?
on alternate wallets, do you recommend then moving it over to a wallet that has QR ability?
Thanks for the question. The answer is no. What we recommend is to have the backup in both forms, both the words written and the QR code scanner, so that you can always restore on another wallet that may not have a QR code reader. Okay? That's probably better, like you keep optionalities for you.
Okay, so now we can start the demonstration part. Is anyone trying to compile and run the simulator, actually? So while I do the demonstration here, he can go around and help someone who needs help, if you want to do it. Otherwise, you can simply follow the demonstration here. Okay, so let me just explain what we will show. How we have, we have 20 minutes. So there will be Specter DIY simulator, which will be the main hardware wallet that we are using in this setup. Obviously, it is a simulator, but it simulates a hardware wallet. And then on the other side, we will do a mini script demonstration using recovery paths. And the recovery path will be from this Specter DIY device. And the main spending path will be from a hot wallet that will be generated on this device. But obviously, you can use hardware wallets for the whole setup. Okay, so let me start the Specter DIY simulator. If you want to compile it, I can give you instructions later. I don't have time to cover everything now. But so once you have compiled everything and installed all the requirements, you have a screen like this, and this is what you see when you start your Specter DIY for the first time. So you have to choose a pin. So let me just choose 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, as I'm typing, you see that the words are changing here. And those are anti-phishing words, and you should write them somewhere, because those words are useful if, for example, I take this device and I refresh the firmware, I change it, for example, and I bring it back here. The owner of the device, when he starts his device, he will notice immediately that the device, something has changed, because the anti-phishing words will be completely different if you change the firmware. So for me, it's gonna be so those words, city. Okay, I have chosen the pin. We can go to the next step. I have to retype the password. 3-4. You see that Wolf Eagle Candle Method City, the same words. So we can continue. The device is empty. We need to generate a key. You can have 12 or 24 words. You can even, one of the cool features of Specter DIY is that you can have additional entropy. So for example, you can choose the word number 7 and you can change the bits and actually see in the official dictionary that the bits that you are changing will correspond to the word that is. For example, if you change this one here, you will find the word that is next to the one that was presented here. So you can actually verify that it is implemented correctly. Okay, so I have generated the key. We can right away, because the demonstration will be on rec test, so I have to change the network to rec test here. The Specter DIY changes the color when you change the network. It's a nice feature. You can as well, I do not need it for this demonstration, but you can choose to save your newly generated key either into the internal memory of the device or to the SD card. I can save it here, but I don't need to save it. So now we are ready. We have the private key. We are ready to extract the XPub that will be used in the wallet that I will show you just now. So for that, we go back. We go to master public keys. Obviously, the demonstration is single sig, but you can also have multi-sig. It's just for the purpose of time. We cannot demonstrate multi-sig. So you need a single sig. You don't use sleep 132. You need to save this extended public key, and it will be saved in the internal memory of the device. Yeah, on the SD card actually, yeah, because since this is a simulator, I can access here on the computer the SD card of the device, of the simulator.
What is this, slip 132 or something?
It's just a different format that we don't, yeah. So this is for Specter DIY part. Now we can switch to Liana. So it is one of the, to our knowledge, there are only 2 wallets today that support Miniscript and of course all other stuff. So it's Liana and there is MyCitadel. The demonstration will be on Liana. So here it requires a full node. So I need to start the Bitcoin D rec test. Yes, this one. So it's running here. Now I can create a new wallet. So select new wallet, and right away I need to change to rec test. The primary path, as I said before, will be the hotkey, which is a bad practice, obviously. But for the demonstration, I will use a hotkey of this device here, of the computer itself. It's even written, stored locally. So you choose this one, and you can call it, I don't know, signer 1. And then, if you want, you can create multi-sigs like this. But we will not do it now. And a very useful feature of Miniscript is the fact that you can have primary spending paths. And as Polto explained previously, it is always a good thing when you back up your seed. But with setups like this, you could even go seedless. You could even use your, for example, your hardware wallet as a signer. You don't even back up this key, and then if you lose it, you can use your recovery path, which is another hardware wallet, and this one should be backed up properly. So here I will just add a recovery path now. And I will have to enter manually the extended public key. So I need to take it from the Specter device. Let me go back. Maybe here. Specter FS SD. Okay. Which one is it? 7CC cat. I think it's this one. Let me just. Yeah. Show what?
Maybe go back and show it in the UI DIY because.
I already showed that. How to show the XPub that I'm using? Yeah, okay, I can. So you start the device. You have your code, anti-phishing words, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have generated and stored locally. I can load the key. It is here, this one. Load it, and then I go to master public keys, single sig, and this is the key that I will use, the XPub. So I save it to the SD card, so it's AADC, and now I can navigate to the SD card of the simulator. If you use the physical device, you take out the SD card and you plug it in your computer. So it's this one here. I need to copy it. I go back to the to Liana. I paste it and I call it signer, recovery signer. Apply. So now we have a primary signer, a recovery signer, and one of the interesting features of Miniscript enabled wallet are time locks. So the idea here is that you have a primary device that you can use every day to spend, and if, for example, you lose this device or the backup, you have a time lock, and then you can use your recovery path. Here we can, for the demo, let's use 144 blocks, which is 1 day. And since this is reg test, I can mine the blocks here, so you can actually see. We can simulate. We can advance 144 blocks in the future. Time travel, yes. So here, signer, recovery path. So this is everything is fine here. The key that you see here, it's simply the hot wallet that is used for the primary path. So of course you need to back up that. And one very important thing is the descriptor, because in multi-sig and now in Miniscript wallets, if you do not have the full descriptor of your wallet, you cannot recover your funds, because the device which you will use in order to recover your funds does not know how to spend, which script to satisfy. So you need the descriptor. This is very important. I can copy it, but I can also access it from the settings. So I will access it from the settings here. How long do I have? No? Okay. It asks you for the node. Okay, I have a local node. Connection checked. You can.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can I just ask? Can you explain? This might be a super basic question, but why is the descriptor very important?
It is important because without the descriptor, if you want to use your setup somewhere else, you need the exact conditions under which you have created the wallet, because there is the locking and unlocking script, and if you don't know what to satisfy, you cannot access the funds.
Maybe even to add to this, when you have even a single signature wallet, you have the derivation path. And the derivation path, you also need to know which one was used exactly. But modern wallets, they kind of, when you enter a seed, they brute force all different paths and try to see if there are coins there. But it's possible only because there are not so many possibilities to brute force for now. But with multiple signers, you have way more options. So it becomes impossible to brute force all possibilities. So you really need to keep the descriptor that describes how the keys were used, with which derivation path, with which other signers, etc., etc. So you need all this information.
Yeah, and it is a good practice to save the descriptor with each of your private keys. And if you have paid attention, he mentioned on the slides that you should never back up anything online, but in some cases you might upload the descriptor, for example, on some shared storage. Because if whoever has the descriptor, actually you lose privacy, but he cannot steal your funds. It's the same idea as with XPubs. As soon as you have an XPub, you can monitor whatever is going on with that address. All the addresses that are linked to that XPub derived from it. So we have the full node rec test locally. The connection is okay. We can move on. The descriptor is here. It is saved, obviously, and we just click on finalize installation, and we are ready to. We can start Liana now. So it is empty. I need to send some funds to the wallet first. I go to receive. I need its address. I have a wallet which is here. So this one, yeah, I need to close. Okay. Let me start the graphical interface so I can send some funds. Can you see? Yeah. So I'm just using another wallet. I want to send funds to Liana, and then the next step is first I spend with the primary path, the normal usage, and then I say, okay, now I have lost access to my primary key, and now I need to wait for the expiration of the time lock, and I can simulate 144 blocks because it's rec test, and then I will spend with the recovery path, and the recovery path is the Specter DIY, the simulator, this device. That's the idea. Okay, so I send here, okay, test, one amount, 1 Bitcoin.
1,000.
Oh, I don't have, maybe I don't know, 100, okay. You can choose the fees, and send.
Why it's 7 hours behind?
I don't know. It's weird. It's rec test. It's I don't know, but it works. So I have sent to Liana. I can go back. I can close this one here. I can start again the core Liana. This one, obviously, it remembers that I have created the wallet, and now you can see there are some funds here. I need to mine. This is why it's unconfirmed. So I have here. I need to go back and mine now. This is the address.
One is familiar with rec test, and no, so maybe worth to mention. So it's a kind of test net, but very local to your own machine, so that you can easily test stuff. Like for example, with normal Bitcoin mainnet or even with testnet, you would have to wait the 1 day delay for the expiry. Here we can just self-mine.
Yeah.
1 day of blocks in one single command and simulate that 1 day has passed to try the things. And I also call it wrecked net, because even if you are wrecked, you can feel like a billionaire.
So we are simulating the mining now. 101 blocks because the rewards are locked. This is why we have to mine 101 at least. So now we should see the funds in Liana that are available. Yes, it is available. As you can see, it writes that the recovery path will be available in some time, but if I want to spend the funds from the wallet, I can use the primary path. So I can I go to send, I need to pay somewhere, and I will paste the address of my other wallet. Never mind, this is just for demo. How much do I have?
Wow.
How many? Okay, I can send, I don't know, 10. Never mind, 10. You can choose the, yeah. And you can choose even the coins, and then you can, you need to put the fee rate, and you can move on. And now it presents you with this interface where you can sign. So it even says that you can sign only with this one wallet, which is signer number 1, which is the hot wallet here. You click sign and this computer, and it's signed. We are ready to broadcast. I need to go back and mine this now. Here, yeah, address reuse, bad practice, but yeah. Okay, so now the funds should be spent. We should see only 9, yeah, you see, 90, and a little bit less because of the network fees. Okay, so now we simulate a situation where we have lost the price. Yes.
Before it used to say 7 hours. So right before it used to say 7 hours 20 minutes before the recovery path is available. The message is no longer displayed. Is there a reason for that?
Which message?
It was displayed. If you go back to the main screen,
I didn't understand what's
home. Sur home.
In the wallet you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, it is still displayed.
It still say.
Yeah,
and it's 7 and not 1 day because we advanced by 101 block.
Yeah, I mined already 2 times.
That's
so.
fine. Is there a way to, like, if I still know that I have access to my hot wallet, can I push over the date at which the funds will become available? I'm sorry, can I push over the time lock at which the recovery path will become valid?
Yes, if you keep spending the primary one, it pushes always. So, for example,
so the time lock is over.
Yeah, it is always. For example, here it's 144 blocks, but if I spend from the primary now, the recovery it will.
Okay, it's worth mention. The time lock is on each UTXO.
Okay.
On the coins, so every time you
2
receive.
minutes only, we will not.
Oh,
can we? 10. Oh, great! Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. So now we have spent with the primary path. We say that we have lost access to this key. So what we can do, we can use the recovery path. In Liana, you need to go. Before that, because now I will use the simulator. So the simulator is stateless. He doesn't know anything about where he's participating because I simply extracted its private, its public key. So now I need to take the descriptor of the this wallet and input it into the Specter DIY so that it knows that it is participating in this multisig, and then it can sign later on, now when I need it. So I go here, wallet descriptor. There is a nice feature. You can click here and it recognizes as if the device were connected locally via USB. So if I click here, it will go directly onto the device here, and this is one of the main very nice features of Specter, which is not available in some other very well-known wallets. Specter allows you to import the descriptor of multisig. Especially in multisig, it is very useful so that you know who are the other co-signers, and you know in which multisig you are participating. And wallets that do not allow this feature are in general not recommended to be used in multisig setups. Yes. It is simulating because
okay.
because the simulator is here. The Liana is everything is on this machine, so it as if it was via cable. Yeah.
And that also works with cold card or in other, or is that somehow
You
specific?
can import into cold card. Yes.
Yes.
Not
and Bitbox.
Bitbox. Yes, Bitbox is a very good one also, but they don't have a simulator, so yeah. So now the Specter DIY says, okay, there is one external key and there is one which is mine. The external key is the hot wallet of Liana, so you can confirm. And now we are ready to spend, but before that we need to wait for the time lock. So I need to simulate. I need to mine some blocks. So I have to go back here and let me mine. I don't know. We already have mined many blocks, but how many did you mine? One or two times? Yeah. So now the time lock should be available. If I go here and settings and recovery, no recovery path is available. Okay, it's still. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Liana. Yeah, it's written now. Soon, yeah. So if you go to settings, recovery, and add the next block. Okay, never mind. So I take the same address that I used before. Address reuse, bad practice, but for demo purposes. Where is it? This one. I want to use this one here. Destination, some fees, and recovery signer. You can click next, and the same setup as previously, just here you see that now obviously I still have the signer one, which is the hot key. It is available here, but if you have lost, now you can imagine that you have lost the primary key. Now you would use the recovery signer. So coin spends, it will take all the funds, and if I click on sign, I can choose now the Specter signer, the Specter DIY simulator. I click here, it will go directly onto the device, and it says that you are sending 99.999, which is everything that you have. You are trying to rescue your funds. You are sending those to a new setup. The fees that I have chosen, the address, the destination address. You can even have additional details here. And confirm, and Liana has accepted the signature. Now we need to broadcast this, and I just need to mine, and the wallet here should be empty. So I need to mine again. Yeah, and now this should be empty here. Yeah, let me restart. And yeah, so we have successfully recovered all the funds via recovery path to some new wallet.
Let's get back to the presentation.
Presentation was here. Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap what we just seen. So we had a wallet with two different spending paths. The main spending path, which is immediately accessible, and the recovery spending path, which is time locked. So we did the demo with a hot wallet just to speed up the things, but usually the main spending path would be using a hardware wallet, preferably a secure element enabled hardware wallet such as Ledger or Bitbox 02 that also support Miniscript, obviously, that's a requirement. So that main hardware wallet, you can use it for daily transaction, and you can use it seedless without having a proper backup, which is usually very, very dangerous. But here you kind of de-risk yourself from anyone finding this backup because there is no backup. So basically you remove one risk from yourself. Now, if you lose access to the hardware wallet, lost or both accident, whatever, then you can use the recovery path after the expiration of the time lock. And both paths can be single sig or multi-signature wallet. So in Liana, when Darko created the wallet, he enabled one single key for the main path and one single key for the recovery path, but both can be different types of multi-sig also. So it can be a multi-sig with a hotkey, for example, and a hardware wallet for the main path, and then a single key or a multi-sig for the recovery path.
Yeah, let me just add, for the recovery paths, you can also have, for example, I would need to create a new wallet now, but you can have various recovery paths. For example, one is a 2 out of 3 multi-sig, and then you have additional multi-sig, and then maybe you have a single sig. So you can really have a very secure setup.
With different time locks, yeah. So, for example, after the first time lock, you have access with a different multi-sig, and even if that fails, for example, your lawyers or your lawyer or relatives can have a different recovery path. The presentation is where?
And obviously all of them, they need the descriptor. It's here, 6.
Cool. So again, for the recovery path, it's worth using this kind of tamper evident bag, and this is where it becomes really meaningful to have not something that prevents access, but that makes it evident that it was accessed or not. Okay, so the operational flow is like this. You have your main spending path, single sig or multi-sig, preferably based on hardware wallets that support a secure element. And with this, when you do your transactions within the time lock delay, time to time, obviously within the time lock, you verify that your bag was not tampered with. So those are from Bitbox, from the manufacturer of the Bitbox 02 hardware wallet, and it comes with a small documentation that explains like the different traces, the different evidence of tampering that may occur. I will make this circulate so that you can see. So time to time, you check the bag that it was not tampered with. If it was not tampered with, you can continue using the main path. If you detect some tampering with the tamper evident bag, then you're still protected by the time lock. So someone accessed this, but he cannot use the funds yet, okay? And you still have the main path, the main keys or key. So you can move your funds to a new setup with a new key that is backed up properly, and you're back to a safe situation. If your time lock expired and the bag is still okay, then you can use the recovery path and to save your funds. So that's it basically for the presentation.
If you have questions, you can ask.
Don't hesitate if you have questions, or find us outside if you want.
So one question about the time about the the period, the maximum period of what is it? Because I think it's not very high. So you maximum have a year or
It's something like a year and a half, I believe. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in blocks, but yeah, it's about 1.5 year.
so and then probably it's worth mentioning that you have to check the so in Liana there is a time log shown. Which is the most recent one, or because it's based on the UTXO,
Yes,
right?
so
which time
correct.
log is
It would show you for the most for the first coming time lock.
Okay,
It will show
most
the
recent.
expiration, and for each time you have some UTXOs nearing expiration, it will warn you in advance and then let you some time to do the operation. And by the way, Kim is also from the Specter team. So thanks for doing this nice stuff.
Are the APIs ready for the other hardware, other wallets to integrate Specter?
Sorry, I'm not sure. Miniscript.
Not Miniscript. Like if a software wallet wants to integrate Specter
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
Are the APIs ready for?
So they probably don't need to integrate Specter DIY. They need support of PSBT.
Yeah.
So usually if you have PSBT, you have the minimal operations. Then you have support for standard multisig, and then the mini script is also something that comes separately.
Yeah, what I meant was like for the transfers and everything. So it's not always. Is it always QR codes, or like do you still have to like?
No,
manually-
you can use, for example, micro SD card to transport the PSBT file from the device to the computer, or use QR codes or copy paste even.
Does it go through hardware interface?
Sorry.
Does it go
HWI, yes. It uses, if you connect it over USB, it uses HWI, yeah.
Okay, so it should also work with BDK.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we are out of time. Thanks a lot for following.